Hey fiends, welcome back to Evie's Movie Nook. I'm Evie, and today I'm going to be showing off the Nook. So first things first, I'm gonna start in this corner where I've got a little bit of ghost face stuff. Just ignore that, that was my kid, of course. But I have one of these little guys. I've got my big ol' horror baby. It was the last one and it had this scuff. But I'm okay with that because it kind of reminds me of the old beat up mask in Scream 6. So I'm all good with that. I got my Funko Pop that I found finally after so long. It took me forever to find that thing. And then I have my ghost face lava lamp. I love this thing. And then we have my posters. This is all my Michael Myers stuff here. I've got that mask, the hangy plushie, the poster. Don't mind those branches. I was gonna make witches' brooms, but I never got around to it. Then I have my ghost face with all of my ghost face masks. I am so proud of those masks. My favorite one is actually the red bejeweled devil mask. The only crappy part about that one is that it's hard to wear because it doesn't have the plastic band or not the plastic band, the stretchy band on the inside. It doesn't have one of those to hold it on, so it's kind of a pain to wear. The best one to wear is actually the beat up one. It's the most comfortable and it stays put, and it's the most fitting to my face, actually. Then my beautiful Art the Clown neon sign, and my beautiful Jason mask lamp. This Sam lights up, but it's battery powered, and I don't like to change batteries too often, so I just kind of have them as a decoration. The sucker is also a real sucker. It's also broken because when I hung up my Art the Clown neon sign the first time, the cord knocked the sucker over onto the floor. So I wasn't too impressed with that. I do have another one just in case that gets too broken, but I don't think it's broken enough to bother me right now. Moving down a shelf, we have this ghost face, which also lights up, but again, battery powered. I don't really want to change the batteries all the time because the batteries wear out really quickly. So it's really more worth just having as a decoration. Don't mind the screw holes. I accidentally made the shelves too close to each other and I had to fix that, so now I've got those two gaping holes in the wall. This is from Charmed Aroma. This was a candle. It was a jewelry candle. It came with a necklace, I believe. And then we've got the Grady twins. Of course, I have to have the Grady twins. This specified Dr. Sleep, not The Shining. And then we have my Grady twins canvas. And then we've got some It and some Elm Street. Then we have my shelf of movies that are not horror movies. Then we move over, we've got my Friday the 13th, which of course I also have a Freddy glove, and you can see a fruit fly right there because fruit flies seem to love my house for some reason. Anyway, this is a really cool poster. I love it. The only thing that I don't like about these posters being up like this is I want them to be in poster frames, but I don't have any frames for them right now. I know where I can get them, but they cost money. Then we got my Shining Axe, Camp Crystal Lake sign. Then we've got my Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was not originally the mask that I wanted to get, but I bought this poster before I bought this mask, and then I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, I wanted to make them match. So I'm really happy that I ended up getting that mask instead to match with the poster. And then I have my Leatherface horror baby, got my Ghostface plushie hanging up there. Leatherface has the lament configuration. This is a mug, which I thought was really cool. I've only drank out of it a couple of times, but it's actually really uncomfortable to drink out of. So I just put it up there as a decoration. Obviously I had to have Art's sunglasses. And that is also a Charmed Aroma Haunted House candle. I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so I figured why not? It still kind of fits the theme. And then we move over here. I've got my ghost face hanging in front of my TV, which is really fun. I like him there, but you can't see the canvas prints behind him. So let's there we go. Let's see who we've got. We've got Jason. I love these canvas prints too. It's a shame that they're blocked off by the ghost face. That is an awesome Michael Myers. Here's my Pennywise. And Freddy. Now people have actually complained at me because it's the remake Freddy and not the original Freddy. And I'm like, I don't care. I just need some Freddy in my living room. And this was before I got the glove. I didn't get the glove until later. And it's still cool looking. Like, look at that. Then we have my unwelcome sign. And we got a hangy dollar store skeleton because, of course, gotta have a skeleton. Why not, right? My Ouija welcome. And this was actually made and given to me by my son's bus aide before he graduated high school, which was really sweet of her to do. I totally forgot to show my Bates Motel sign. It's really dirty too. I need to wipe that down really bad. I love this sign, especially where it says no vacancy there. You can actually choose to have the no vacancy light up or just vacancy. I like to keep it on vacancy because that's how Bates Motel has always been, because he never rents any rooms. The biggest problem I have with this sign is that it runs on battery and the batteries drain really quickly. So like, for example, if I'm using top quality like energizers, they'll only last for like 3 days, and that's not being on consistently. That's only being on in the evenings after dark. So that kind of sucks, and I'm kind of thinking about getting a neon LED sign instead. But we'll see. We'll see. And then we have my first round of horror movies, and these are all specifically done. So we have sharks going into zombies, going into ghosts and hauntings, and I seem to have a lot of those. Hauntings can also include possessions too, so like Talk to Me, for example, is in there, mirrors, you know, so it doesn't necessarily have to be technically, well, I suppose Talk to Me is ghosts, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, hauntings. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, I know it's kind of a witch movie, but it's also kind of a ghost haunting movie too, so that's why I've got that there. And then down here I have all of my vampires. Then on this wall I have my little Halloweeny spooky things, and those stay up year round because it's always Halloween in this house. And then we have my Transformers figures. I don't care, it's not horror, but whatever. And not just horror. These are my TV shows. Moving into sci-fi. I'm sure I've showed all this before, but whatever, I'm showing it again. And this is all my holiday horror. So we start with Valentine's Day all the way up to Christmas. And as you can see, I do not own every Halloween movie. And then over here, I've got more TV shows. So those are my pink shows. We've got, Stargate SG-1 is new, seasons 1 and 2. I might bring them back though. I'm a little concerned about the first 2 discs of season 1. They were pretty scratched up. And then I've got Penny Dreadful, City of Angels, 2 seasons of Interview with the Vampire, Star Trek Picard, 2 seasons of Red Dwarf, and Game of Thrones. And then over here, this is also all horror, and this starts off with all of my franchises. As you can see, all of my Screams are Steelbook except for Scream 4, which I'm hoping will get a Steelbook very, very soon. More franchises down here. If it's not a full-on franchise, like for example, I got Smile and Smile 2, still not really considered a franchise yet because there's only 2 of them. But that's where I call them collections. So, you know, collections from here to here is all Stephen King. So that's my Stephen King collection. And then we've got some movies with sequels. And then just straight up, okay, so here we've got these are themed too, I totally forgot. We've got home invasions. We've got a couple of found footage, a couple of musicals, John Carpenter, then we've got some classics, still going classics, and then it just kind of goes into individual coolness. No themes in particular. Oh yeah, so there's my Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2. Those could technically go up there, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. Same with the collector and the collection. I can't wait for the collected. What about you guys? That's gonna be awesome. And then I had to make a little bit of room down here. As you can see, I still have some gross looking dusty stuff there that I have to move. So we'll just ignore that. So that is the better look at my Nook. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm hoping to add a little bit. I don't think I can add anything to the walls, although there are a couple of neon signs that I've seen on Temu that I would really like to get. So fingers crossed. Another thing is I'm really hoping Spirit Halloween is going to bring back the Ghostface animatronic this year, because I'm getting it. I don't care. That's all I wanted to get last year, and I couldn't get it last year. So I am putting my foot down as long as Spirit Halloween releases it again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Stay spooky.